All right, good morning. Today is August 13th of 2024, and let's go over yesterday's price action as well as the outlook for today. So, yesterday I had a bearish bias where I had expected price to draw the lows or sweep lows, and we did get that where is this yesterday's? Yep, yes, this is yesterday's. Okay, so yesterday we going into the morning open, we had already swept the highs. Yesterday I said sell side was taken, but in actuality it's actually buy side. The highs are buy side, the lows are sell side. Sometimes I get confused, but I'm more care about what pricing is doing instead of the actual name. So if I get mixed up in the names, then that's that's something I got to work on. But anyways, so going into the 0930 open, we had already swept buy side, and even before that happened, my bias was bearish. I had expected price to draw lower. Price did. Same thing here on NQ. Price did draw lower. After this 15-minute market maker sell model was swept on ES, though price reversed, and on NQ it didn't. So that's SMT between this low and this low and this low and this low. And the reason why I took this trade on the second stage of its distribution was because price closed below extreme discount on the 15-minute. And when price does that, that's a sign that price may seek to draw into the lows. Now, I had expected price to draw into here, but obviously it didn't, and price reversed. And that's fine. That's actually what I wanted to see. I actually wanted to see that going into the open, but it happened after price swept these lows, and that's fine. And the reason I expected price to sweep these lows was because the move up from the Asian London all the way up to the New York Open, you had nothing but low resistance liquidity runs, and price kept on sweeping highs all the way up until this previous day high here, previous day high here. Price swept, created a unicorn model here, unicorn model here as well, and then price drew lower. So that was my initial reaction, initial bias plan for the day. And then after it did that, obviously trading into the new day opening gap, price reversed, and I actually caught another trade here going into the afternoon because I had expected price to draw lower. Actually, it was this one right here on NQ. So let's take a look at actually let's take a look at the 5-minute. So again, after the 15-minute close below extreme discount, I started to watch the 5-minute. And what I waited for was I waited for this candle to close. Once this candle closed, I started looking at this gap here. Same thing here. I started looking at this gap here. Once that closed, I zoomed into the 1-minute to start looking for the second stage of distribution to target the lows down here. And so I noticed this little gap here. Yep, that little gap there. Price drew a gap. Price traded back into it. Rejected, closing lower. Price here traded into it, creating a double top or relative equal highs. And then obviously price started closing below it. Once price failed with these consecutive candles to close above this gap, I knew that price was likely going to head down here to sweep these lows. Now, I had expected price to continue drawing lower, but obviously that didn't happen, and I covered into endpoints, 8 points out here. There is another little volume imbalance here that I should have pointed out to during the live stream, but obviously, I was too slow in that fact that I was concentrating on shorting this low. After price drew below this gap, I had my eyes set at this relative equal highs where I wanted price to sweep and then draw lower. But through experience, I've realized that price does not necessarily need to do that. If you're bearish, price does not need to take out relative equal highs anymore. Price will likely continue to draw lower, getting many people either to think about it and making them fearful of exiting because you have relative equal highs here. But anyways, I got in here and covered into this area, and obviously price reversed right after promptly and created this reversal pattern here where the entry was right here. There was second stage distribution, which I probably should have caught, but it was here, and I don't like getting in until the macros. So there's no way I'm jumping into this trade unless it's during the macro. This is the second stage of distribution, trading into this area here. And then throughout the whole afternoon, price basically just consolidated, search and destroy, seek and destroy pattern, where price just is consolidating all throughout the day. Going into the 1330 session, I noticed here that price created a rather large 5-minute gap. And what I had wanted to see was I wanted to see price create a short-term high, intermediate term high, short-term high, and then for me to short down here somewhere. And this is all time distortion, meaning price is consolidating, it's not doing anything, it's taking out lows, taking out highs. But once you realize, actually, let's use this one. Once you realize that price is creating buy stops and sell stops, you know that going into the final hour, price is going to target sell stops and it's going to target buy stops. Going into 1330, actually 1530, I noticed that price created this low. Actually, it created this gap right here. With this being the short-term low, price then drew lower. I got in right here and I targeted these lows. Going into the 1600 macro, I really wanted to get in this, but instead I ended up taking a paper because I knew that once price took these sell sides and traded into the new week opening gap, price would likely push away from it. Like I said last week, new week opening gaps, new day opening gaps act as magnets. And then when they've already rebalanced the whole range, they'll likely push away from it or continue drawing lower. I did not expect price to continue drawing lower because on a day with no news, the likelihood of it drawing lower is unlikely. And one of the rules when during the last hour, price likes to target buy and sell stops. That doesn't mean sell stops down here. That just means sell stops within this the range. And so again, got into this gap here and targeted these lows here. I did cover one into here once price started consolidating again, but I held on to a last one into this area micros, but I was able to get a good 40 points off of it. Let's see here. Again, here, right after the 1550 macro started, price drew lower, swept this low, and again, price likes to target or hunt for liquidity buy and sell stops towards the end of the day. And so you get the same reversal that you had during the 10 o'clock macro. You had displacement lower, price trades above it, creating a change in the state of delivery. Change in the state of delivery, not market structure shift. If it had been market structure shift, then price needed to trade above this right here, but it did. So here we only had to change the state of delivery. That's enough. Where price creates a gap as well, you get in here and target the sell stops up here, relative equal highs here. And so if you want, you could have taken your profit here as well. Same thing here with this down move. You had relative equal lows here with the final low taken here. So that was it for the day on me today. On yesterday. Pretty good day, and I'm glad that I was able to be a lot more patient, just waiting for the market to offer me something instead of blindly going in. Like I think I did that a couple of times last week, and I didn't end up losing big, but it was just frustrating, and it takes a lot of toll in your mental capital. But anyways, what am I expecting for today? I don't know. Today's PPI. PPI happened at 0830. I don't know the reaction. I haven't looked at the charts whatsoever. But what I do expect is maybe one more sweep before price targets its lows. if that happened, then I'll be looking for price to draw into this area and then draw higher. If we swept these highs, okay. If we swept these highs and then price started drawing lower, I'll maybe and if price is in this area, then I'll look to target these lows for a market maker sell model on the 1 hour, which is starting to develop here. Market maker sell model on the 1 hour here. So I would like for this to be the buy side of the curve, and then if we sweep this high, start the sell side of the curve there. Same thing with NQ, market maker sell model, buy side of the curve, and if price swept this high, then price draws lower. Now, if price continues to draw higher, no entry for me. No entry whatsoever, because I am still bearish where I want to target these lows. So I won't have a bias. Yeah, I won't have a trade idea if price just continues to draw higher. That's fine with me. I'll just let it go. If price drew higher without sweeping these highs, and then draws lower, then obviously I'll still target the lows. But that'll give me more. I guess you can say more confirmation that price might look to target these lows, and then for price to draw lower. I'm very careful to trade short in these areas. I won't be looking to trade short in these areas. I'll be looking to trade short in this area here. But if price drew lower, let's say price drew lower in here, then I'll be looking for a 10 o'clock macro reversal. Same thing here, 10 o'clock macro reversal, or 10 o'clock market reversal up here to target the lows. So long below this area, short above this area, short in this area if the displacement is good enough, because I don't expect this area to be the area where price decides to reverse and draw higher, because there's really no imbalances here, no imbalances where price has not rebalanced anything whatsoever. Let's see what else. But yeah, that's my bias for today. Let's go ahead and see how price is developing overnight, and I definitely want to see how PPI reported. Okay. All right. All right. So we got to sweep up the highs. We got higher lows here, higher lows here. We did create some imbalances here. Same thing here. We created some imbalances here. So I am completely out of the market. I mean, I don't even want to look at this right now. We do have 3 drive pattern here between yesterday's high. So sell side has been taken. The buy side, I mean. Jeez. All right there. So that's buy side for me. Buy side taken. And as I said, if price drew a new high, then I'll look for price to draw lower to complete this market maker sell model, if this is the high. So again, going into the 10 o'clock macro, I do want to see price displace lower. If price displays lower, then I'll be looking for entries up here somewhere, and I'll expect the second stage of distribution to offer a lot more than the 8 points that I got yesterday. I'll expect price to at least target the new week opening gap. There is a tiny new week opening gap here, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use last week's new week opening gap, where price might likely lead a draw lower. Let's go ahead and move this, and it's actually pretty nice that price did draw higher, because that brings 50% of the range a little higher. So this is equilibrium on a higher time frame. So now we are in a better position where, like I said, I want to see these imbalances get filled. This one partly maybe, but I want this imbalance to remain open. I want this imbalance to be closed and for price to offer wicks above, and I want this imbalance to remain open here. Just keep watching here. If I see anything else, now just like my idea from yesterday, I do want to see, because right now, as you can see, we have been respecting. Here we go. We have been respecting. We disrespected all of these bearish PD arrays on the 15-minute. Same thing here. We've been respecting this bearish PD arrays, and then obviously price drew higher and has been closing higher here. Same thing here. Drew higher, swept buy side liquidity, swept buy side liquidity. So now it would be logical for price to draw lower and sweep these lows, and we are also above consequent encroachment here. Here we just tapped it, so it makes logical sense for price to draw lower now, and that's my so yeah, that's my bias for today. We have a couple of relative equal lows here, relative equal lows here. This right here is a relative equal low as well. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. See if maybe there's an entry. Relative equal highs, but again, I don't expect price to come back up here. If it does, then that's fine too. Okay, right here. And this is a tinier market maker. Well, not market maker. We have an inclining dealing range. Here we also have an inclining dealing range on the 1-minute. Same thing here. We have actually on the 5-minute, inclining dealing range on the 5-minute as well. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, okay. So 15 and lower time frame dealing ranges. 15, 5, and 1-minute dealing ranges here. Today, again, we do have PPI. We did have PPI, and I'm assuming the numbers. I'm not going to trust those numbers, anyways. You just trade what price is offering you at that moment. So, again, if price continues drawing higher, that's fine. If it just continues drawing higher, then I'll just wait until I get something, until the market gives me an indication of real displacement lower. If it doesn't, then no entry for me, no play today. It might even so that I don't take a trade today, because it'll take a lot for me to switch my bias to bullish. And the way that happens is if I see consecutive 15 or 1-hour candles draw higher with displacement as well as gaps. If that happens, then I'll expect price to do that. I'll expect price to draw higher. What I mean by that is I don't want to see. Here we go. This one's not so bad. Here we go. I don't want to see candles like this. I mean, this is technically displacement, right? But all have been immediate rebalances, closing higher, but no gaps in between. If price had offered something like this without these wicks and there was a gap here, then trading long in this area for price to sweep the highs makes logical sense. But kind of like this one right here. Price drew higher, left alone some imbalances, and then price drew higher after that, because that's when you start looking for internal liquidity from the lower time frames to the external liquidity. And so you're targeting the highs from that internal liquidity. But given the fact that we have a weekly imbalance, higher time frame than all daily and 4 hour, you would expect price to draw lower from internal down to external. And external is down at these previous day lows here. So weekly going into the daily. Weekly going into the daily. So that's what I'm expecting today. That's what I'm looking to see price do. But again, if price continues to draw higher, I'll be paying attention to the hourly candles to see what price is likely to do going into the day. Whichever way we get displacement is the way I'll look to trade. I'm hoping that we get displacement lower so that I can start targeting the highs. And if I am not able to get in during the 10 o'clock macro, then I'll look to get in during the 11 or 13 o'clock macros. It would be even better actually if all of what I say happens and then I get a trade going into the close, because the close, if price has a very good trend, if price has like a one-sided trend, just like this one, yep, just like this one, the last hour is likely where price tends to hunt for liquidity before drawing the low of the day. And this just happened to be the low of this day. I think I actually caught this trade. I think I did. So if we get something like that, then that's what I'll look to do. But again, as long as price continues to draw higher, I'm staying away from the market. On the 15-minute here, we do have some sort of displacement. So who knows? I might just decide to trade long on the 1 minute if I see something like this. If I don't see anything, then I won't look to trade. Same thing here. We do have displacement higher. Price came back, traded into this imbalance and drew higher, sweeping this high. So that's what I'm looking for today. Bearish bias, unless I see something on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So we do have displacement higher. We have a gap here, but just because we have a gap here does not mean it won't close going into the 10 o'clock macro. Actually, this is okay, I thought this was the 15-minute for a second. So right now, just waiting on the sidelines waiting for price to offer me something more than just this. But yeah, that's it for today. That's it for now. I'll be back at 9:45. I have a couple of things to do, so I'll be gone for a bit. Okay, I'm back. All right. Let's see what the market did. We just opened a couple minutes ago. Mm, All right, 1 second. All right. All right, let's take a look. Okay. All right. So we are continuing to draw higher. That's fine. So if price draws above here, what I will do is I'll look to change this gap here. Actually, let me go ahead and add this. It could be that price may target this imbalance here. But again, I am still bearish. The only way I'll be bullish going forward is, again, if price closes above this area here. Not this area, not this low, but this low, because whenever you have a bottom imbalance within a gap, you have to use the high or low of that volume imbalance as well. So this whole range, not just this from this low to this high, from this low to this low here. You have to use the whole range from this low here to this high here. So that would be the daily imbalance. So that's what I'd like to see. I want to see price continue to move higher, but again, my bias remains bearish. So we did rebalance this whole imbalance. We're still above consequent encroachment here. Same thing here. We did displace higher here. So I want to see what price does if it comes back to this area. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. So we do have a 15-minute unicorn setup here. Yep, right here. We have the 15-minute unicorn setup where price closed above the body of this candle, and these two consecutive up close candles are the breaker. And then obviously price targeted these highs here. Here we are getting a sharp wick here. Let me just bring this back here. That way it's easier for me to modify modify it if need be. Yeah, this is much easier. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the 5-minute once again. See what price is doing there. Okay, well, we got displacement higher. This could be just, what's that word? This could just be capitulation. Because it is a rather aggressive thrust up there. Let's take a look at the 1-minute. The price is respecting bullish order flow. No SMT whatsoever in any of these. This is much better. There are no gaps on the 15-minute. The only one I see is here. Price did respect this area. Balanced price range. Price drew higher into these highs. So still waiting. Nothing certain just yet. So as of right now, the only thing I would like to see is price close below this gap here. This whole gap here. If price is to draw lower. Actually, it's much easier doing this. There's nothing here. Only here. So not even looking at this. So we just rebalanced the whole weekly gap on NQ. Right here. We just rebalanced the whole weekly gap, so it makes sense if price displaces lower for me to start looking at hunting for shorts. Until I see otherwise, right now we have bullish order flow. Let's go ahead and switch this to the 5-minute. I have the 15 and 1 hour on view on my other monitors. Yep, I would like a close below this area here. Is this? Yep, this is it right here. So again, I would like for price to close below these areas for me to be confident in looking for shorts. because as of right now, I don't see anything just yet. If price closes below here, then we might start seeing some real indication. Nothing here, so just here. We are 5 minutes away from the macro. And we are still drawing higher. I don't see anything. I'm looking for SMT on the higher time frames, on the 15, 1 hour, or 4 hour. There's nothing on either. And we're about to hit equilibrium on the daily, right, on the daily gap, on the daily dealing range on ES. Which is right here. And Q continues to draw higher. And Q did not break that high. ES did. The displacement higher is substantial, so I am thinking of bullish order flow now. But the last line of defense for me will be the complete rebalance. The weekly imbalance is narrower than the daily one, which is from here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. There we go. And on ES, we have yet to do that, so I'll just leave it at that. Let me just make sure that there is an imbalance. Yep, there is. All right, so we just again we hit equilibrium on the daily range. So yeah, still watching. No imbalances down here. No imbalances down here. On the 15-minute, we did draw an imbalance off of the 945 candle, which is from this high, I mean this low to this. I think it was somewhere here, but I'm not going to add that until obviously the candle itself closes. So still watching. Let's see what ICT is doing. I think he was live streaming, teaching his new mentorship. Does give that up? Okay, because if it can fail and go lower, this may be something that's influential for resistance. We're not trying to pick the top, we're not trying to call the top, we're not trying to call the reversal. Letting the market tell us very clearly where it wants to go. There you go, see? If the handle run off of a daily target and a weekly target, straight shot to it. Just a beautiful illustration of what it is that you're trying to do initially. You're not trying to get entry patterns. Okay, you're not trying to pick the best stop loss location or where to. Okay, so exactly what he said. We're not trying to pick tops. We're not trying to pick bottoms. We're not trying to catch the very high of the reversal. We're just trying to see what price is offering us. So that's why I haven't touched anything. This is another entry here. So this could be a 30-second play. I'm almost positive there is one here. Okay, so now we have SMT between ES and NQ. And the macro just started. Why am I doing this? I should just do this. There you go. That's better. Easier to do than just projecting it to the future. This can be a little frustrating from time to time. Let's do that for this one too. All right, there we go. Okay, so we got a new high. So yeah, all of this is buy side, buy side, buy side. can go ahead and delete this. Now it is this one right here. Oh, that's the 5 minute. Okay. Oh, what the hell just happened? All right, so now we have some sort of displacement. Tiny displacement. This could be something, so I'll notate that. All right, how high is price in relation to everything else? Okay. Again, this was the high of the weekly gap. All right, so I'm starting to see something here. This is initial sell side, and we have a bunch of gaps here that might look to get filled. I want to see how price closes here. We do have a tiny gap. Actually, no, there isn't a gap. It's an immediate rebalance. We have change in state of delivery here, but I don't like the. Ooh, okay. I'm starting to like this. All right, so I'm gonna take a starter. Don't go without me just yet, please. All right. Okay. All right, so we do have displacement lower now. I want price to hunt these lows here, here, and eventually down here. So if I'm right, then I'll be looking to take stops down here. I would like to add, if this is in fact the high of the range. My stop is if price closes above this area here. It is just one contract, so I'm not really too. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Too concerned if price draws higher up here. Because if I'm right, then this whole area could be the uh, the entry. I would like to add one more if price comes into here, because that would be what is it called? Actually, not there, but right here. So let me go ahead and do this. All right, so equilibrium. If price draws this gap here, then I am looking to enter here on a quick retracement. If it remains opened, okay, right there. So let's go ahead. Just a little more. There we go. Okay. Oh man, my fill was crappy. Yeah, my fill was very crappy. My fill was actually 70, what is it, 74? So here, actually down here. But again, that's fine. These are micros, so and with micros, I am looking for a bigger run than just these areas here. We might get a tiny sweep into this area. Okay, so that's all I'm looking for. If price closes above this area here, then I'll take my stop. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to take it. All right. Okay, so I just took my stop because we had a draw past this imbalance here. So now price is attacking the highs. Okay, so this could be the SMT we were looking for here. So that's fine. Because here we have a better setup actually. Gap, imbalance. If this ends up being the order block, then I would like for price to displace lower with a gap so I could enter on this one instead of this one. So just watching still. If I do enter here, then I would like to enter without price sweeping this low first. This is a balanced price range here. So it would mean a lot if price drew lower going from there. Where is this thing at? Okay. Please. Okay. So we close that gap. Okay. So we might need to sweep this high one more time. All right. I'm not seeing anything just yet. All right. Okay, so I am in with one contract. I want a clear breakthrough here to target these lows and eventually these lows down here. So we'll see. We have a tiny gap here. If price comes back here, I don't want it to trade back above consequent encroachment. Couple more seconds. We just left a tiny gap here. So let's see what price does now. Yep, this is the type of entry I wanted. So now that I'm in, my stop is 54.17.25. It should actually be here. You know what? I'm gonna make it to here. So I am risking a rather large large one, but I am looking for a big move. So let's see. Let's see what we do. Okay, so we are drawing lower. No, we just swept this low here, and Q has not yet. Granted, my entry could have been better, but that's fine. I do like that we closed below this line here. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Oh, okay. The 5-minute, we are within this gap here. So I would expect for this gap to turn into an inverse. So let's see what it decides to do at this range. All right, perfect. Yeah, I don't like this right here. I don't like how price reversed here, so I'll just be watching. if we get a close above this area here, then I'll take my stop. Break above this high would be a market structure shift. All right. I want to see how price closes there. We do technically have a market structure shift, but I'm not going to take my stop until the close of this candle. All right. Decisions. All right, the break of that high and I'll take it off. Okay. I still like it, but now I want to see again how price closes down here. This low was broken and we had some wicks show up here, but now that we get price coming back here, I want to see how price really reacts. We have a lower close now, so let's see. So now my stop is 15.75. Let's go ahead and set it. There it is. Okay. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. How did it close? All right. Okay, so on the 5-minute, we do have this gap here that was violated. So I'm okay just holding still. On this 5-minute, I want price to close below this area, or even close below this area here. A couple more minutes. Let's take a look at the 1-minute again. All right, so yep, I don't like that. We got immediate rebalances. This could be a 3-drive pattern. So I don't want any flat top up close candles. Okay, so I took it off because here we have relative equal highs. Yep, there you go. And we are targeting these highs. Okay. All right, so I followed that plan. I did not like how price closed within this candle here, swept this low and drew higher. So now I'm actually looking for a reversal. So, but still watching. We have plenty of, what's the word? We have plenty of SMT between this high and this high, this high and this high here. So I might look to enter. Actually, no. The macro is over. Yep, macro is definitely over. Okay. Yep, there's absolutely no play right now. I did think I saw it on ES, but there's nothing on ES. Because once I entered here and I entered here, if price were to draw lower during this macro, then I would have expected for price to displace lower, but it hasn't, and it hasn't yet. Okay, I got filled. Okay, so I did get filled here, a consequent encroachment here, because I am expecting for this candle to be the Judas swing. So now, if I'm right, then I would like for price to immediately draw lower, and I'm gonna put my stop actually above 5.25. And if that's it, then I will go ahead and call it a day. Actually, during the 11 macro. Let's see here. Okay, so I got my stop set above here, and that's fine. It's only a micro. What's my fill actually? 900.75. So right here, and I'm risking 5 points on a micro, so that's fine. And if I get stopped, then that's fine. I'll come back for the 11 macro, and I guess I'll have to, um, yeah, I'll have to come back later on. It sucks that this one was. I should have stuck to my stop, but I'm never good with reversals, or I guess you can say first stage distributions. I'm actually a lot better with second stage distributions, which would be down here if price draws lower. If it doesn't, then I guess I'm wrong on the day, and I'll look to see what price does after 13:30. It does look like we're the wicks here and these wicks. Price is very balanced right now. That's what it's telling me. and because price is balanced, one way has to give, and when it does, it'll be a pretty good good run. So we'll see if it's here or if it's not. Okay. Mm, no, no, don't do that. We keep on seeing wicks. I really don't like that. I'm just gonna leave my stop as it is. Is this okay? So I want to see what price does here. There we go. Yep. Oh, there we go. Okay. I should have probably added another one here, and this will be my last trade. All right. Let's see what it does now. We traded below. Well, we traded above that. We held at that imbalance. Then we swept the highs once again. Then we traded below it, which makes it an inverse. So if prices continue lower, then we should respect that imbalance. And my stop remains. Couple more seconds. I am way past the macro, so I'm not. My patience is running out. Because again, I want to see quick delivery. I don't like staying within these ranges because prices very balanced here, wicks on all sides. So I want price to get out of that range. Whether it's to the upside or to the downside, it doesn't matter. I want price to get out of it. right. Looks like I'm gonna have to take it here because if it closes above here, then I'm gonna get out. And again, oh man. All right, let's see what it does now. Tiny imbalance there. Let's see how this next one closes. All right, I'm gonna take it off because I don't like that. Just one more second, couple more seconds. I want to see how price reacts there. A lot of times that could be the Judas swing on like the 30-second or whatever. Let's take a look at the 30-second. All right. Yep, looks like I'm gonna get stopped out. My stop is right here. No, I'll just leave it. Okay, so I got stopped out. Let's see. Small loss for the day thus far. Let's see how much. I don't usually check my P&L, but let's just check. All right, so yeah. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I think we'll get a better entry for the 10 o'clock macro. Right now it's consolidating. So if price breaks the lows, then I will know to get on the second stage of distribution. This right here is not really good for me. I entered here. I probably should have covered down here or wait to cover down here, but obviously that didn't happen. So um, yeah, that's it for today. I don't expect to trade. Maybe I will trade during the 11 o'clock macro, but I will need to see displacement lower. And again, those are my favorite types of entries because those are already set. You know, once you catch that move, it's highly unlikely that price will reverse on you. Whereas if you try to catch the top, a lot of times you'll either get the displacement, the initial displacement, and it'll just keep on moving. But because time is not there just yet, it tends to consolidate, and then once you least expect it, I get meaning that the traders from the 10 o'clock macro will already be so, I guess you can say, emotionally drained that they won't even look to trade the 11 o'clock macro, and that's when it happens. If it doesn't happen at the 11 o'clock macro, then I'll look to trade for the 12 o'clock macro, and so forth. But if I don't get anything for the 11 o'clock macro, then I'll just leave it alone and come back for the 1300 one. Not the 1300, but 1330 lunch open. And I'd say about 99% positive that I will catch a good trade there. Again, small loss. Uh, Glad that I took micros. I took micros because if I was right, then my win could have been 200 points. You know, you add that up with two micros, and it's it's like taking a mini all at once. So yeah, but if I don't decide to trade the 11 o'clock macro, if there's no setup, then I'll look to trade the 13:30 lunch open. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you tomorrow.